This one's all about riding in style. Your last ride, that is. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:64 scale Johnny Lightning 1959 Cadillac hearse. I got this in a mail call from Paul at Diecast Graveyard, who has over the years generously supplied me with an uncountable number of castings and hobby supplies. Thanks again, Paul. It's a premium casting with a metal base, white walls. This will be my submission for the April 26 Four Horsemen invitational on the theme of movie monsters. It's a treat, to be honest, for me to work on a Johnny Lightning. I really haven't had that many come across my bench. It's a super high quality casting that speaks of the elegance and class of the era, as well as death. It's a hearse after all, so there's that. But this is a pretty creepy theme build, so I can use a little bit of that vibe. It's got such a beautiful black metallic paint finish on it that I'm not going to strip this one down. One-piece glass canopy, curtains in the windows, and it's a little bit frosted. One-piece plastic interior with room for occupant in the back. Metal base, premium wheels. You can feel the quality in this one. Super nice. Everything goes into this little plastic bin for its 1-week turnaround. I hope you're enjoying this diecast makeover, and if that's your jam, then come on back every Saturday for a brand new upload here at Maple Leaf Customs. Same day of the week, same time, and you'll see these, which are upcoming projects already on the calendar. Why not hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and follow me regularly? I'd sure appreciate it, and it's all free for you. I did promise not to strip off this beautiful metallic black finish, but I am going to do a fade on the back half of it, so I carefully mask off the chrome trim, load up some Kaleido dark green as my secondary color, and carefully go to work using a 0.4mm needle and a black Aurora Gaahleri airbrush. It's laying down beautifully. You're going to be impressed by this fade when I unmask it. I preserved the chrome trim around the windows. No touch-ups needed there. A little bit more tape to come off the back, which had covered the tail lights. Check that out. I got just the perfect color fade that I was after. Oh, I am totally pleased with that outcome. Alright. Today's community shoutout goes to Defo Art Diorama on Instagram. A really cool site that I like, and I invite you to check it out too by following the link in the description. So who wants to play a little Name That Movie Monster with me? You gotta be good to catch. Nosferatu. It's 100 years old and still standing. Their film was conceived as a way to make a Dracula movie without the rights to do so. It's 1931 and Bela Lugosi's cape, widow's peak and the generic foreign accent are still must-have features for any modern-day remake of Dracula. Stop animation never looked worse. Fierce but tender-hearted, Skull Island's resident alpha has a crush on Fay Wray and no fear of heights. Special makeup effects still had a long way to go in 1941, as evidenced by the werewolf. I still haven't visited Tokyo because I'm afraid this guy's still lurking underwater in the harbor. Honorable mention for this one because you didn't know it was a Steve McQueen movie. Admit it, you didn't even need to see the shark. The score was terrifying enough. Into the 80s. At the time, The Thing had the biggest monster budget in film history. A 1958 Plymouth Fury possessed by a demonic spirit with a serious jealous streak. It's probably more campy than truly scary, but it might play a bit differently in the era of self-driving vehicles. I hope someone does this one. Special effects legend Stan Winston was definitely high when he created the Predator with a face only a mother could love. No. And then there's one of Hollywood's most tragic monsters. Rejected by his maker, feared by everyone, and doomed to be misunderstood because of his horrific appearance. I like him. And I've chosen to go with Boris Karloff's depiction of Frankenstein's monster. I start with a ghost white decal. See what I did there? I'm hoping that'll give a luminous glow-like effect behind the top colored decal, which should be instantly recognizable to everyone. I've actually visited Frankenstein's castle just outside of Frankfurt, Germany, a short drive for me. It's a real thing, which Mary Shelley based her novel on. Even the trees were creepy. Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus, is an 1818 Gothic novel written by English author Mary Shelley. It tells the story of Victor Frankenstein, a young scientist who creates a sapient creature from different body parts in an unorthodox scientific experiment. Shelley started writing the story when she was just 18. The first edition was published anonymously in London in January 1818 when she was 20. Her name first appeared in the second edition, which was published in Paris 3 years later. Since the publication of the novel, the name Frankenstein has often been used to refer to the monster, but that's really the name of the mad scientist who created him, or it. The 1931 film with Boris Karloff playing the monster is considered its most well-known portrayal.
Who are you? I'm Maria. Will you play with me? Would you like one of my flowers?
That's no monster. I'm going to have to start all over again. It was Karloff's 82nd film, and the one that established him as a horror movie icon. And he didn't get a lot of lines in that one, but if you want to know what his voice sounds like, watch the animated television special of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which he narrated and won a Grammy Award for. You can see that the main work that I did on the hearse was in the paint fade and the decals that I did on the body. Never touched the glass canopy or the plastic interior. The metal base got a flitz treatment, but I retained the original wheels, which look so good. There's a tab in the back and one screw up front to be refastened. Here's the Frankenstein hearse, if you like Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder. Not an elaborate custom job by anybody's definition, but I think a pretty sleek-looking one with the paint fade and the decal treatment on the roof, dirt nap on the rear quarter panels to signify its final destination, and you can come out from under the bed now. It's not that scary. I started with this premium Johnny Lightning 1959 Cadillac hearse, which I hated to alter, it's so nice. But the theme was movie monsters, so I did my best to recreate a Hollywood icon for you. Thanks to the Four Horsemen for hosting this event. There will be lots more videos for you to watch. My final glamour pics are set on the Diecast Graveyard diorama that I did for Paul's super huge, ginormous build-off final edition. I thought that was apropos. Thanks for visiting my channel again today. Please leave a respectful comment below and tell me where you're watching from. It's coffee time.